Welcome to the Joy of Coding.
Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of The Joy of Coding. It's episode 150. My name's Mike Conley. I'm wearing a funny hat, and yeah, it's a special episode. Let's get into it. What are we doing today? Well, first of all, here's my screen. Those are some flames. That's kind of setting the tone for what's happening today. Let me describe what's going on. So, going to be hacking on Firefox like normal today, but with an added bonus. I'm not entirely sure this is a good idea. It was viewer submitted, and it got probably the most attention, at least on Twitter. So we'll see what happens. But basically, I'm going to be working on bugs today, and I've got... Oh, someone said nice hat. Thank you for special thanks to Josh Matthews for the hat. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be working on some bugs, but I'm also going to be eating some very spicy wings. These are the hottest wings I could get from my local wing shop. They are breaded. I asked for the hottest possible. So this is as hot as it gets, at least near where I am at. And it smells hot. Like, just sniffing it just now, my eyes are watering a little bit. It kind of smells like maybe it's poison. I'm not sure. Wow. So we're going to see how far I get. Let me talk a little bit more about what's going on. So first of all, no plan survives breakfast. This episode is almost guaranteed to go off the rails. I'm going to be probably in some level of physical distress. That's okay. That's kind of part of the plan. We'll see how that goes with the hacking. I wanted to let you know that this agenda that we're looking at is a thing that you can actually get access to. You can click on this stuff. If you go to, well, it depends on where you're watching the video. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's in the video description down below, the link. And if you're watching this on Air Mozilla, then there should be like a handouts sidebar or something on either side, and the link is there. And if you're watching this on Twitch, then I'm about to drop it into the Twitch chat. Here you go. Boom, there's the link into the Twitch chat. Also, amongst those links, there's also this link to rate the episode and let me know what you thought. Maybe the spicy thing was a bad idea. Maybe there are things you'd rather see me do that are not eating spicy things. Maybe spicy things are only what I should be doing. I'm not sure. Let me know when you rate the episode at the end. I read everything that comes in, and I really appreciate the feedback. I also want to quickly shout out the episode guide that exists. It is viewer-driven. This is an episode guide inspired by the Handmade Hero episode guide. If you're not sure what Handmade Hero is, you should check it out. There's a link in the episode guide. But basically, the episode guide is viewer-driven. I think we haven't gotten episode 149 in yet, but we have everything up to episode 148. Oftentimes, it's mostly links to the videos, the agendas, also topics that I cover, and various things that people might find useful. And the thing is, if there's anything you would find more useful in these notes, send me a pull request. I'll merge your changes in. Maybe you have your own notes. Maybe you have corrections. Maybe you have addenda to the stuff I talked about. Send me a pull request. If you're not sure how to do that, there are guides here that Smurf D, who has contributed a lot to the episode guide, recommends. There's also a I should link to the contributing document. There's a contributing document that that Smurf D added as well, and you should check that out, and I will link to it. Here it is, contribute.md. So here you go. Here's another a contributing guide. So I'll put that in the agenda. I'll actually put that there and let that synchronize. Okay, so quick self-check. Is everything working? Yes, you can hear me. Yes, I have sounds. Yes, and we're recording. So here's how this is going to work. It's episode 150-ish because there were a couple of missing episodes, but I'm counting this as episode 150. I have a couple of bugs I want to work on. I might only get to the first one. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to the second one. We'll see. But throughout, I have an order of these spicy wings. They are from a local. I'm not going to name the wing shop. I think it's actually a chain. It doesn't really matter. But these are the spiciest wings that they could offer. And I'm going to be. There are 9, I believe. There are 9 boneless breaded chicken chunks that are encrusted with spicy spice on them. And an episode of Joy of Coding usually lasts about 90 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat one every 10 minutes. I'm going to try and spread it out. I'm not going to front load. I'm going to spread it out. I'm going to set a timer on my phone. And every 10 minutes, I'll eat another one. And just in case things go horribly wrong, and these are way spicier than I can handle, I have a couple things. I've got some vegetables here in the front that came with the wings and some dipping sauce. I hope I don't have to use those. I also have my emergency bailout bagel. In the event that things go horribly wrong, I have a bagel. I also have a glass of water, ice cold water here. I know that water is not the most useful thing to drink whenever you have spicy food when you're dealing with that. However, I don't like to drink milk, believe it or not. I like it in my cereal, but I don't like drinking it raw. Even in this sort of situation, I'm not the biggest fan of milk. That's where I draw the line. Oh, I just realized that there's a little bit of leakage over here on the green screen. And so that's what the bagel's for. So let's get started. The first thing I'll do is I'll have a wing. I'll eat it to completion. I'll eat with my mouth closed. I don't want you to hear the chewing sounds, but I'm using a fork and a knife. And they're boneless. That's because I don't want to use my hands because I tend to touch my face like this and stuff, and I don't want to get spice in my face, but I also don't want to get spicy stuff all over my keyboard. So let's start with one, and then I'll set the timer for the next one. So here we go, episode 150, the Spicy Hacking Challenge. And after I eat this, I'll explain what we're doing today. So here we go. Well, I'll eat this, and then I'll start the timer. Yeah, that's hot. That's really hot. Oh. Yeah, that's burning. Woo. My lips are hot. Oh. Okay, hang on. Almost there. Okay, I'm starting the timer for the next wing. 10 minutes on the clock. Whew, all right, here we go. What are we doing today? So we have this thing called Remote Web Progress. That it is a JavaScript module that runs in the content process, and it sends these special messages to the parent process called kapow messages, or kapows. And kapows are this leftover vestigial thing that we originally created as a way to make it easier for non-eTNS compatible add-ons to work with multi-process Firefox. Because what it does is it allows things in the parent process, like old school add-ons, to synchronously access and manipulate the properties of something that's in the content process. So for example, like a DOM node, you could hand that up to the parent process as a kapow, and then the parent process, you could read properties. And that sounds great, except that in order to do all that, you have to send synchronous messages back and forth, because accessing these nodes has to be synchronous. So kapows were great for add-on compatibility, but were horrible for performance. And we have a bunch of tools in place to help not use kapows anymore. And one of the things that I've been dealing with is my intern from a couple months ago was working on a patch to move ActivityStream into its own content process, and all of that's almost done. Oh, this is so hot. Hang on, so I'm gonna take off my hat. I gotta take off the funny hat, I'm sorry. Okay, he was working on a patch to enable a separate content process, and he almost got it landed, but he keeps getting backed out, or he keeps getting these test failures because of leaks. shutdown leaks. And fellow colleague Chris Maglione pointed out that leak, looking at the cycle collection logs, is coming from some kapows, specifically the kapows from remote web progress. It's essentially like, because we're keeping the nodes alive in these synchronous messages sent up to the parent, they end up having like a different lifetime characteristics than if we weren't to send them in kapow messages. And if we wait for a little bit, the lifetimes time out and they get garbage collected correctly. But with the way that Jay's patch changes things, the timing's all off. So it becomes more likely that you'll fail intermittently. So instead of trying to work around it, I'm just going to try and get rid of these kapows because we shouldn't need them anymore. Legacy Zool add-ons are no longer available, and accessing these sorts of properties has been deprecated in our front-end code for years now, and the only ones that really use them are our testing infrastructure uses kapows. So I'm just gonna try and get rid of them. And I did a try push yesterday, where I tried to get rid of them and things lit up. Like, things failed pretty miserably, and that's okay. Because I think I can work through these and we can get them working again. Right, so let's do it. Let's start getting rid of some kapows. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to boost up my font size. Woo, so you can see what I'm doing. And we are going to, we'll work off of this patch. So this is the sort of garbage patch I put out just to test what would happen if we sent nothing. If we sent, if instead of sending kapows, we sent nothing. And that's what broke on the test infrastructure. So I can reuse this commit, but I will undo. Actually, no, I'll keep this part. Eventually, I'm just going to remove this chunk, but for now, I'll keep it in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start patching some of the failing tests. So one of the things that you can access, like, we try and make kapow access obvious in our front-end code. One of the ways we do that is we have these properties on the browser elements that end with as kapow, like content window as kapow and content document as kapow. Those are populated by the synchronous message that's sent up to the parent, or the message that is sent up to the parent, the kapow messages. And so yeah, let's start by getting rid of all of the consumers of get content, or content window as kapow and content document as kapow. That I think I can do. It's this list here. It's only the tests really that use it. All this stuff up here is really just the infrastructure to offer it, but no one's really using it anymore. The content window as kapow and content document as kapow. So that's good. None of our front-end code is using it. No one's introduced new front-end code to use it. That's good. The message has been made clear to other engineers. Don't use these things. So now we just need to update more of the tests. I got 4 more minutes until the next one. So we'll just work from the top of the list. Let's start with this test right here. So this is an older test. I can tell that already because the it's got something called function test in it. I actually think this was recently patched. I think I recently reviewed a patch that patched this. Let me just double check that, because if so, maybe I can ignore this one and move on to the next. Let's look at this. Yeah, I reviewed a patch for this yesterday, and it hasn't been updated in SearchFox yet, in the index. But he, being Heiss, I believe got rid of the kapow. Let's see, where were we using it? As kapow. Content document as kapow. Yeah, he switched over to using content task spawn. That's the right move. So we stopped using the kapow there. That's great. I can, flames. I can work on the next one. So let's do that. So let's work on this one. Again, this is another older test. So this is going to be an episode where I'm updating a bunch of older tests. Excuse me. So the first thing to check is, what is the test doing? The test starts and it waits for it's going to be an asynchronous test, so we're waiting for an explicit finish. We add a tab and switch to it. We add an observer to this topic called browser search engine modified. We hook up a cleanup function to clean everything up when we're done. And then we add a search engine. And then the search observer is checking to make sure that the... what is this doing? The data is not, the engine name is not post search. It's setting the engine. This is all setting up, and then it will execute the next test. So it's doing these, like, these are forms of tests. So all of this is just to set up this like special search engine, a post search engine. And what it will do is it's going to set the URL to be the test text. So in this case, it's like a search or a question mark and then some string. And then we focus the URL bar and we press enter. And then we wait for this load to occur. Wait for load is basically wrapping browser loaded. That's fine. Want load URI is not equal about blank. Okay. And then we check the text in the document. We see if it's search page loaded, or we check to see if it exists, and then we look for the expected text. Presumably there's some expected text that's supposed to be in the text content, and we just check that and we go on to the next. So that's pretty simple. I think we can do that. So Stab M in IRC is asking, could you elaborate a little bit more on what remote web progress actually is doing? Yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. So remote web progress's job is to notice whenever we transition, when we proceed. Here, let's open it up. Remote web progress is sort of like a half of a two-part structure for moving a web browser tab from one place to the next. So we have this other thing called remote web navigation. I'm going to pause right there because it's time to eat another wing. So one second. Hold up. I'll get right back to you, Stab M. I think my mouth had finally started to get used to it. And now I'm back in the flames. Okay. We got two pieces. We got NSI Web Navigation and NSI Web Progress. These are two interfaces that you use to navigate a browser and then know what is happening to it. Because sometimes you're the one doing the navigating, and sometimes the page is navigating on its own. For example, maybe script is causing a navigation to occur, or you want to know, progress on downloading it. Like you've caused the navigation, but you want to hear about like how is the page download going. So that's two parts. And remote web progress allows us to offer that API, a similar API, to the parent process for tabs that are running outside of the parent process, which is what happens when you have E10S. And so what it does is it offers an interface that allows you to add listeners for things like, hey, the state has changed between, like, I don't know, there are a bunch of different states whenever you're loading a document. The location has changed. We've navigated to a different location. The security properties of the page has changed. Maybe we're switching from SSL to not SSL. The progress has changed. Maybe we've like loaded half of the page, and we'll let the parent process know about that. So that's what remote web progress does. Hopefully that helps explain the thing. And the way remote web progress gets its information is from this thing, web progress child, which is sending messages, which web progress child actually hooks into the NSI web progress thing in the child process, and then proxies all the messages up to the parent process. But some of the things that web progress offers are things like the content document or the content window for the thing that's being loaded, and that you should not be able to access from the parent process because they're running in the content process. We don't want to synchronously access them, and that's what we were offering the ability for the parent process to access via Kapows. Okay, he said, cool, thanks. I'm gonna move on. Let us rejig this test. Hang on, I need to blow my nose. Okay. We're gonna start by switching from this like sort of hand-rolled async test listing thing here to add task. So I'm gonna say add task async function. I'm not gonna give it a name. We're just gonna do that. So that takes care of waiting for the explicit finish. We're gonna add a new tab. So that I can do this thing that's like I want to wait for that tab to finish loading. Like there's a browser test utils thing that I should use here. That's called like open new foreground tab. Open new foreground tab. Defaults to true, defaults to false. Yeah, so I can just do like resolves with a new tab. So I can do select a tab equals await browser test utils open new foreground tab. And that will actually do the job, I think, of selecting that tab. So I don't actually need to like select it. Right? Like it sets tab browser, G browser, open new foreground tab, switch to tab. Yeah, it switches to the tab. Great. Okay, so it opens a new foreground tab. That's done. Then we've got this like observer thing that's going to fire at some point. We have this cleanup function and removing the tab. So what I can do is I'll keep a reference to the tab, and at the very end register the cleanup function. I don't know if this is super necessary, but I'll do it anyways. Actually, I think probably just at the end of the test I'll just do browser test utils remove tab. That we don't have to await. Then there's this adding the engine thing. I think we definitely need to do that for our test. Actually, this whole like adding the tab and setting up the this new search engine is kind of distinct from setting up the tab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up like have a setup function set up, and I'm going to do the adding of the engine here, and then I'm going to have our observer set up in here as well. But what I can do is we have this thing called testutils.jsm. Yeah, and it has something called topic observed in it. Okay, so I'm gonna let engine added equal test utils topic observed. What does it take? A function, check function, is expected one, returns a promise with the subject and data from the observed notification. That's great. So topic observed browser. So this will take care of the like cleanup for me. And it's also nice and promisey. So engine added promise equals that. We'll add the engine. I'm doing this like this. I'm not setting it up and waiting because it's possible that add engine is synchronous. I don't actually know, but I'm going to be just cautious. I'm going to say let subject data equal that, and then the engine we should be able to do this. Let engine equal the subject. We're going to QI that into a CI NSI, an NSI search engine. Sorry. We're going to log this information. Observer something force engine.name. That all is still compatible. Data is engine added and engine.name post search. Instead of returning, I think I'm gonna OK false here. Got wrong NSI search engine observation, and then post search assert okay, false, wrong search engine added. Great. Otherwise, I don't think I need to return. I can set the default engine to this. Did I actually reset the timer? I don't know if I did. Oh man, so I haven't reset the timer. I'm gonna, how long was it since the last wing? I'm gonna say 4 minutes, so I'm gonna set a 5-minute timer. 5-minute timer. Okay, for the next wing. Don't want to cheat. I set the default engine. And then, yeah, this is a good idea. We're going to register a cleanup function to get rid of this engine or unset the engine. To remove the engine. Good. So that's the setup. No problem. And then we open a new tab, and then we're going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just test to see if this works. I'm not going to do anything else. And I'm just going to comment the rest of the stuff out, and we're going to see if this test works. And this is under browser-based content test general. Okay. Mock Moki test. Browser-based content test general. Browser keyword search post data. I got a question coming at me from Twitch. So where'd you order the wings from? I wasn't gonna say, but I'll tell you. There's a Wild Wing that's just a couple of blocks from the office. I got the wings from Wild Wing. I'm not being sponsored by Wild Wing or anything. And then Beach J322 asks, I finally made it. Where are the wings? I've had 2 already, and I'm having the next one in 3 minutes. Okay, so we failed here. We got the wrong observation. I guess it's possible for other observations to occur. So instead, I think what I need to do is I need to update the test topic observed thing with a checker function that's going to make sure that the check function takes the subject and data, and then we're just going to make sure that the data equals engine added. Return engine added, and then I don't need this anymore. Okay, so let's run that. Tomato Shadow goes, cool, is that a Toronto only based place? I don't think so. I've seen Wild Wing. I think it's a chain that's like across North America. I'm not entirely certain. So that all works. That works properly. Great. So what we're going to do now is the actual running of these individual tests. And I think it's purposeful that they're opening and closing a new tab each time. So I'm going to, what am I going to do? Yeah, I'm going to continue using gtests. But what I'll do is for test of gtests, we'll do that. And there's no await remove tab, like we don't wait for it to close. browser testutils.jsm. Remove tab. Remove tab does not do things. Oh, wait for tab. When the tab starts closing. Okay, so we just remove it synchronously. That's fine. So we're going to open a new foreground tab, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do the stuff in the URL bar, and then this wait for load business. So I think I can do some of this a little differently. I think because I know I'm still in JavaScript here, I can like wait for load. I can actually like probably take this out of the helper function and just do it manually over here. Browser loaded URL. I'll say return URL is not equal to about blank. That's when we know it's good, and then we're just going to await this. We don't need this anymore. We're going to indent that a little bit more. So we're going to wait until the browser, in this case we don't have a browser, so we need to get the browser. Let browser equals tab.link to browser. We'll wait for it to have loaded, and then we're going to say page loaded, current URI spec, great, great, great. And then here's where we can get rid of the kapow. We're going to await a content task spawn. We're going to get the text content of the body. So await content task spawn. We pass in. Okay, there's your timer. All right. It's time. So I'm going to set 10 minutes back on there, and don't let me forget, I have to hit go whenever I'm done this wing. All right. Really dip it in the sauce here. Now, just for the people who are joining late, these are the hottest wings that were on offer from Wild Wing. And they're pretty hot. At least for me. Other people enjoy spicy stuff more than me. I think it's not bad, spicy food, but this is pretty hot. Okay. We're going 10 more minutes. Whew. All right. Where are we at? So we're going to spawn a content process or content task. What we're going to pass is nothing because we're just going to get the text content out. So we're not going to pass a thing. We are going to pass in a function which is going to return the content.document.body.text content. So that's what we're going to get back. And we're going to say that the text content is that. And we're going to make sure that it exists. Text content. Now we're going to get the needle equals search terms, G, current test, expected test. Yeah, where, hang on. Test text, and then test. Oh, my mouth. Assert dot equal text content is the needle. Query post test. So that should do it. That should be the equivalent test. Let's make sure that runs. Hot. Oh, that's hot. I'm sweating buckets. Beach J322 says this is the greatest episode ever. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying my pain. Great, we passed all our tests. We did it, and we didn't even use a kapow. So we can get rid of all this stuff. And we're done this one. So what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to have each one be an individual commit. So I'm going to say commit bug. Whew. This is stop sending compiles. So this is bug this remove compile usage from browser keyword search post data.js. Who's the right person to review this? Browser. What was it called? Browser keyword search. Probably someone from the search team. We'll look to see who touched it last. Who touched it last and who reviewed it? Mark Banner, but that was doing some linting stuff. Diego. Mike Capley. I'm gonna have Mike Capley do it. Okay. Mike Capley. Okay. Oh, this was a bad idea. All right, next test is, oh, that was Flames. Is this one, browser-based content test general, browser tab, drag, drop 2. What is this test doing? So luckily, this test is already using some of the newer infrastructure. It's using add task, and it thankfully has a description at the top talking about what the test does. Load the test page, which runs some child pop-up tests in a new window. After the tests were run, tear off the tab into a new window. Run pop-up tests a second time. I don't care about test results. Exceptions and crashes will be caught. So what we're really looking for are exceptions and crashes. Oh. Okay. So where's the kapow? Kapow. It's right here. Content windows kapow test panels. Test panels. What is test panels? Test panels? What even is that thing? Test panels. Oh, it's a thing that's... We're just calling a function inside this window that we opened at this Zool. Test panels. What is this browser? We load browser Chrome. We send it. Where are we sending it to? We got to be sending it somewhere, right? Yeah, to URI. That's what we're loading. We're loading a dialog. Got it. Okay, so instead, now technically this content window isn't a kapow because you can't load. We can't load a Zool document in a remote frame. So does the original .browser.xml, does this have content window? It doesn't. As kapow, it does have. So we just don't want to have kapows in general. Even though even though it's not a kapow, we just don't want this term as kapow. So I think it's probably fine if we do. Well, hold on. It's the top level gbrowser, and we're loading this URI. Okay, so we're gonna say let tab equals win2.gbrowser.selected tab, or selected, I'm going to say browser, selected browser, and then I'm going to say await content task spawn browser, and I'm not going to pass it anything. Oh, what happened? All right, there we go. And I'm going to say content test panels. Now I don't know if I can just call that directly like that. I might have to access the wrapped.js object, but let's find out. And get rid of this, and we're going to see if this test runs. Mock Moki test. Browser base content test general. Browser tab drag drop. Drop. 2. Flames relate to your wings. Correct. It's like a visual onomatopoeia or something, or this is just pathetic fallacy or something. Like this is me on fire. Anyway, run this test, yo. How did it do? Fail. Let browser was redeclared, so I used browser too many times. Win2. I'm gonna call it browser 2 then. Okay. How am I doing on time? When's my next wing? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay. It's doing a thing. It's calling the function. It's calling the function. Did it call the function? It passed. Now, what is the function? How do I know it's actually being called? Because what if I don't call the function? Does it still pass? Because if it doesn't, then what I did nothing. So I just want to make sure. Yeah, I'm just going to do this. Oh, play some sounds. Maybe I'll make the heat go away.
Oh, wow, 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 wow.
Okay, the test is hanging, which means that I think it's working properly. Okay, so this we've removed the kapow. Hooray, we did it. So what's the file name? Tomato Chat says no U.S. locations, but has some in Manitoba. Looks delicious. Okay, great. I thought wasn't there a Wild Wing in Michigan? Didn't I walk past a Wild Wing? Anyway, I want to have some consistency here. So what was my last commit message? It was remove kapow usage from. Okay, so bug 1492482 remove kapow usage from, and then not the whole thing. I didn't want the whole path. Okay, what's it called? Browser tab drag drop 2.js. And who's a good reviewer? Browser tab drag drop 2. Browser tab drag drop 2.js. I think my mouth is starting to get used to it. Like, the tears have subsided, I think, a little bit. And I think I'm gonna be okay. So Heist has reviewed a lot of patches for this. So I guess I'll have Heist do it. It's a pretty simple patch. And he's busy, but it's simple, so he'll be able to do it. Not that Heist can't review complicated patches, it's just that I just don't want to overload him with stuff. Alright, that was that test. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, there's the timer. Okay. Wing time. Just really get it in the sauce here. Just smearing it in the sauce at the bottom of the plate, just to make sure you're getting your money's worth. I'm getting sauce on the outside of my lips, and that's burning too. Normally I don't like people on the stream to watch me eat, but I think it's important this time. Make sure you know that I'm not cheating or something. Alright, I'm just going to do this one last bite.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. Mamma mia. Oh, wow, 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 wow.
Okay. How many we got left? We got 5 wings left. We got 4 wings down. We're 44 minutes in. I inhaled too deeply. We're doing all right. Still alive. Where was I? On to the next test. So I had looked at this query as kapow. Just did this one. So in the head of this test, we're accessing. Okay, good. It's already asynchronous, so I can make this. I can do this. Content test. General head. Oh, my lips. Ask kapow. Right here. So when new tab loaded, instead of, and what's when tab loaded? What's it doing? Tab loaded is promise tab event, then callback. Then callback. So it's past a callback. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll say instead of doing that, I'll do content task spawn. I think that's going to be the solution to most of this. And I'm going to say in here, get the ready state. Return content.document.ready state. Now we'll say then, because this is this isn't an asynchronous function, but it is taking a callback, and I don't want to restructure it right now. That's probably going to be a hair ball of wax. Ready state. I'll say if ready state return content document and how about this? Because it's possible that there is no document. So if content.document return content document ready state, otherwise we'll return null. So if ready state and ready state equals complete, then we'll say callback. Otherwise, we'll do that, and that should do it. So we need to find something that uses this function and make sure it still works properly. Here's one. Set for stun. There's one. Set for stun. What's that from? That's from Star Wars. All right, let's run this. So you got the wings on fire sauce. Ironic with the flames. I don't remember. That sounds right. I just asked for the hottest wings possible. And I think they mixed like 3 together. They were very amused at the wing place. So they may have given me like a wide variety of punishment. Okay, that works. We did it. So I'm going to get rid of from browser-based content head.js. What was the bug number? Bug 1492482. Remove kapow usage from. And I'm just going to put the whole path in because there's a bunch of head.js files out there. Now, who can review this? Let's take a look at the log. Mossip's done some. Let's have Mossip do it. Pretty straightforward patch. I don't think it should take Mossip very long. He's a great reviewer. They're all great reviewers. All of my reviewers are great. Love my reviewers. All right. Next patch. We just did this head.js in here, I think. Wait. No, I wanted as kapow. This is all infrastructure, right? Yeah. And then we just did this. So I don't know if we're gonna get all the way through these, but I'm gonna try really, really hard. I'm gonna try and pick up the pace. So let's just do it. Let's just do it. Did I set this going again? I didn't. I forgot to do it. So I think, what are we at? Like, I think we're at probably 5 minutes. So I'm gonna do another 5 minutes to the next wing. I forgot to reset the watch. So 5 minutes. Oh man, this test looks old. Okay, get image info. Yeah, it's got all this nested stuff. So, and where's the as kapow usage? So it gets the document. And what does it want with the document? It wants an actual image from it. So I'm going to have to rewrite this test, I think, just to make it sane. So what's the test actually do? Before you rewrite a test, make sure you know what it does. It adds a tab. It waits for it to load a URI. And then we get the document. We get the test image. We open up page info. And we add an event listener to the page info window. And we put an onFinished handler in there. And we're just making sure that the page info window is doing what's right. And then we close it. Okay, I got it. I know what this thing does. Let's do it. Add task function, async function. So we're gonna add a tab. We're gonna add a new foreground tab. Await browser test utils. Open new foreground tab. That was the same thing like we did over here. We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do that. No problem. And then we're gonna make sure at the very end that we remove the tab. Browser test utils dot remove tab. And then what are we gonna do? There's a little British accent there for you. We're gonna load. We're gonna say the browser equals tab.linked browser, and then we're gonna load a URI. We're gonna send it to that URI, and we're gonna wait browser test utils. Actually, I could probably do that over here and open new foreground tab. If I remember correctly, open new foreground tab allows us to send it to a location right away. Right? Yeah, params. So I can pass it a URI to load in the tab, wait for load. Yes, okay, open new foreground tab to URI. So I can skip all these steps. Don't have to do that anymore. And then, so we know that the URI is loaded. We're gonna get the test image. And what's it gonna do with it? It's gonna get image info. Okay, so we can do all of that inside the content task. So wait, content task spawn, browser, async. We're gonna do this thing. We're gonna say, hey, let test image equal content.document.getElement by ID test image, and then we are going to get the helper functions are great, but if you're calling them only once, like, I understand you're trying to factor some stuff out, but I don't think this was fully necessary. Maybe I'm wrong, but at the very least, I think what we can do is just recycle this. We'll just put it here. This is what we're going to return to the caller, or to the parent process. And we'll just do boop, 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 boop. Okay, and that's it. So then the parent gets that information. And what's that called? What'd they call it? Image info. And then they passed it into browser page info, get image info. Why? What is the third argument to browser? What does this do? Image element. Image to load in the media tab of the page info window. Oh, because it wants us to load that one. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. So what we're going to do then is we're going to say let page info equal browser page info. Browser. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now I don't want to forget to set the timer again this time. Here we go. I am taking the nug. I am dipping in the sauce. I'm really working it in. Here we go. I've got my phone here so that I'm going to reset the timer to 10 minutes, but I'm not going to start it until this is down the gullet. Here we go. This is number 5. I think I may be getting used to it. Or maybe this is the only way I can eat truly spicy things, is if I'm distracting myself with patches. All right.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. Mamma mia.
Okay. New timer's on. Let's go. Browser page info takes the current URI spec. Isn't that just the URI we passed in? Isn't that the URI we passed in? Come on. I don't think we need, well, maybe it's going to do some corrections. We've got the browser anyway. Let's do it. Browser, current URI.spec, media tab, and then image info. And then we're going to add an event listener. Await browser test utils. Wait for event on page info. The load event. Page info on finished. Push, and then I'm going to pass in a function. Page. Oh, my lips. Oh, they're all rubbery. Oh, I'm going to copy this over. Now notice I had to do like capture and once for this. So maybe I should do capture on this wait for event. Browser test utils. Wait for. Each breath is also like I'm exhaling and my lips are on fire. Capture's the third argument. That's what I want. Capture true. Unfinished, and then we're gonna push this stuff in here into here, and let's just update this business. Well, you know what, because I want this to be, this is a callback thing, I'm gonna have to await a new promise, so I'll have to do it in here. Unfinished push, then we're gonna get document, and we're gonna say new unfinished push. I think it's probably fine if I make this an async function, and then I'll say await assert dot equal, and then test image. It will be image info. So I'm going to replace all these assert equals, or these is's with assert equals, and this this, that, and then once we're done, page info unfinished. I think we can get rid of this. I promise. We need to close page info. And I don't think it was like waiting for the close event or anything. Okay, so this should do it. This should do it. I don't need that anymore. Probably should get the header back in here. Public domain header. I guess that's not super necessary. I didn't do it for the other one, but whatever. Monkey test. Come on. Browser base content test. Page info. And this is called browser page info image something Image info. Do it. Do it. So that's not working exactly as planned. It's just hanging. Fail. Okay, so that did not work out. Let's put the old code back and see if we can find out where we're hanging out. Let's get rid of this promise. This is probably going to pass, but let's make sure. How much time do we have? 4 minutes. 4 wings remaining. You know what? Because it's 2 o'clock. 4 wings remaining. 1, 2, 3. I'll do 2 wings for the last one, and we'll close it out. Or I'll do 2 wings right now. That's what I'll do. So that passed. Like everything worked according to plan, I think. So it's this one in here that's not doing well. So you know what I think I need to do is maybe put this on finished earlier on. Like set up this promise early. So like await or like let page info check equal page info promise equals check page info. We're gonna pass in page info. I'm gonna create a new helper function. I know I was saying before like, oh, why you gotta have this other helper function, but because it's returning a promise, I want to make this a little more readable, I guess. So it's gonna be async function check page info window. And what it will do is it's going to put that stuff, no, I'm not going to make it an async function. I'm going to make it a normal function, but it's going to return a promise resolve that sets up our listener. Right? Returns a promise, sets all this stuff up. And then we wait for it to load, and then we're going to wait the page info promise. Let's see if that works. So I'm going to do 2 wings in 2 minutes. 2 for 2. Failed. Page info is not defined. Right, and that's on line 13. Right, because I renamed it to page info image, page info window, and we also need this information. Page info. Okay. I'm okay. I'll have the veggies afterward. I guess I might have the bagel too. I think I'll be all right. Failed again. Page info window on finished. Uncaught exception. Uncaught exception on finished. At type page info window. What's the error? Why is my window so wide? Let's do this. Uncaught exception. Uncaught exception. What's the exception? Can't access it's undefined. Unfinished is undefined because I guess it hadn't finished loading yet. Shoot. So maybe I had it right before. Maybe it was better before. Let's undo. Let's go back to where we were before. Oh, it's 2 wing time. Let's do it. 2 wings. I'm gonna do the big ones. All right, these are the biggest ones on the plate. I'm really smearing the sauce all over them. So don't forget to rate the episode. Let me know in the forum whether you thought this was worth it. I know the... Oh, my lips. I know the funny hat didn't last very long. That's because I was too warm. Alright. That's one. Let's do the second one.
Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Oh, wow, 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 wow!
I don't think so.
Oh. Okay. 2 wings remain. 10 minutes on the clock. Alright, I'm gonna have a sip of water. I mean, this isn't even gonna help, right? Water doesn't help. It's just gonna spread it around. Okay. What's going wrong here? So maybe it was the async part of this. Like, what if I do it this way? And I gotta resolve. Right? Okay. A little more water. If I die on camera due to like an aneurysm or something, please tell them to find me in York Mills in the Toronto Mozilla office. Okay, 2 things passed, 1 did not. That logo. It's undefined. It is undefined. Oh, maybe I need to wait for the test image to finish loading. Right? Current source test image. Logo C, logo B. Which one's the test image? This one's a test image. The source is logo B. Wait for event load end. Unfinished. Push. Preview image. Preview image. Source image. What's the image? Info source. I don't remember which side. So I'm going to set a debug breakpoint right here. Which one? I don't know which one it is. It's not the right argument. JS debugger. Oh, the two wings. Bad, bad, bad. Bad stuff. Did I start the timer again? I did. 6 minutes remaining. Run those tests. Do it. Okay, hit my breakpoint. Now, what is the image info source? That's what I want to know. Let's get ourselves a console here. Come on, console. There we go. We're going to say, what is page info image source? That is correct. That's what we wanted. And that's actually, so it's what we're getting from the, right. It's what we're getting, because it's supposed to be current source. Hi-yo, that's the problem. I don't know why. Why wasn't that breaking everyone else? Current source. Current source. Current source. Why wouldn't that break the other? Image info.js. No. Current source. Why wouldn't? What's it using? Page info. Test image source versus page info source. Test image source. Oh, that's why. So the reason it's different is because before we were comparing against the we were comparing against the kapow. So I'm also going to set source over here. Test image, not source. So I think this should pass. I'm going to get rid of the debugger. It's a comment in live hacking that says, the joy of pain. Yeah, I guess. Oh, man. Hey, are you the same Dark Spirit who helps the web render people? Dark Spirit in Hash Live Hacking? Because they are very, very very thankful for you. They think you do a great job. Okay, that works. So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. And we are going to... Yes, he is. Oh, fantastic. It's a pleasure to speak with you in RC, Dark Spirit. Glad to... Maybe I'll do a web render episode one of these days if I ever get pulled onto that thing. All right, so... bug. What was the bug? I don't know if you can hear the shakiness of my voice, but I think the last double wing experience really shook me. Literally. My guts are freaking out. Remove kapow usage from browser page info image info.js. Who to review? No, not the raw. Give me the log. Mossap did a bunch. I did some. Johan. I'm gonna have Florian do this because I think Florian has like worked on this. Load of the correct URI. That's why they wait. That's why they fixed them to use current URI. URI. Yeah. That's why. Current URI. Just my brain is coming to grips with this. Okay, Florian. Sorry, I spaced out there for a sec. I think it's also because I'm breathing a lot. I'm starting to get a little dizzy. I don't want to hyperventilate, but I'm trying to run air over my tongue and in the insides of my mouth. There's no way I'm getting all these done by the end of this episode. That is unfortunate. It's taking me longer than I thought it would, but maybe some of these will be a little bit easier. As kapow. All right, there's a bunch of usage in here. Let's start with the top one. So what are they doing? They're getting elements, then they're waiting for conditions, then they're using. Okay, good. I can work with this. So await. And then the test if. What do they do? They're just waiting for the inner HTML to be a certain state. Okay, so I can replace this. So await content task.spawn g browser. Oh, it's just going to be browser null and async. I'm going to say let test div equal content document get element by id MC test div, and then there's a wait for condition, I think, inside test utils. Wait for content test utils. Was it content task utils? Wait for condition. Okay, another wing time. It's a smaller wing this time. I probably can do this in one bite. I think we're over the worst of it. All right, just dancing it out a little bit. Resetting the timer, 10 minutes. We got one wing to go. My mouth feels like it's just been beat up. 10 minutes.
Oh, wow, 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 wow.
So content task utils has a wait for event and a wait for condition. I can use that. Await content task utils. Wait for condition. The inner HTML. I think I can just do that. Does that work? Will that work if I run this test? Let's just try it. Where am I? Browser based content test site identity. Test browser based content test site identity. Browser bug 906190. Let's just see if this passes.
Mamma mia!
What happened?
So it appears to have worked. I'm not hanging. We didn't stop waiting. So I'm just going to say that worked. So I'm going to... Wait, I saw a fail there. Uncaught exception. Right, because I've removed the kapow. Great. Okay. Good. And so here's another kapow. And then, oh, it's doing more stuff. Add the link. Document. Content document. Create element div. Inner HTML. Child tab spec. We got to pass that down. So we're going to say child tab spec. Child tab spec. And then content dot Document.body append the child. Disable next line, no unsanitized property. Right. Okay. So then that's the do test part. That looks like it's gonna work. So where's the other as kapows? There's like, how many? How many did you find? I don't know. Let's start at the top. These are, thank goodness they're add tasks because they're just checks. Okay, await content, spawn, G browser, selected browser, we're gonna say assert dot equal the content document got for equals that, and then okay, executing mixed script. Done. That one's out. Next one, also this one, same biz. We're just gonna copy and paste because it's the same idea. We're just making sure that the inner HTML equals a certain string. And I could probably deduplicate some of this, but I'm not gonna, out of scope. Out of scope. Disable. Okay, execute mixed script. Blocked mixed script. Two left, two left, two left. Maybe we can fit one more simple one in before the episode's done. I still got one more win. Oh my stomach is starting to freak out. Not that you need to know that, but it is. Okay, and last one, last but not least, Booyah Shaka. Onions, baby, onions. That's a basketball thing, apparently. I don't know sports. Okay, so that should be all of them. Let's run it. Oh, if you're just joining us, I've been working on Firefox patches while eating some of the spiciest food I've ever had in my life. My whole body is covered in a layer of sweat, and my mouth feels like it's been in a fight with Mike Tyson. Okay, syntax error, line 217, what'd I do wrong? Oh, this isn't an async function, shoot. Do test, wait. Some of them are async functions though, so I can probably do that. Are the other ones async? Yeah, that one's async, that one's async, that one's async, that one's async. I think it should be good to go now. Oh, I'm just looking at this last wing. One more wing to go, and then you know what? As a coup de grace, I'm gonna like gather up all of the wing sauce with a fork and put it in my mouth. That's going to be my last move. We'll see how that goes. I think I think I'm getting used to it though. Like maybe I've leveled up from like a spicy food perspective by like putting myself through this. Maybe now all of a sudden I can like handle way spicier food. It's possible. Okay, that's done. That is donezo. So we're gonna say, get that bug number again. Remove capal usage from, what's the name of this test? Browser bug 906190. Who's a good person? Site identity. This is site identity. Who's it gonna be? What is the? I need the log of the file. I really want to get one more done before the episode's done. So let's do one more. Wow, not a whole lot of people. Not a whole lot of people. I have Johan do it. Johan. Okay, cool. Cool. Next. This one. Let's do this one. Thankfully, this is another more modern test, and it's already using wait for condition and awaits and async functions. So I can compile usage because new tab pages can be preloaded, in which case no load event fires. What? Well, we can work around. Instead of using the compile, we'll just get rid of the preloaded browser. Remove preloaded browser. Yeah. Ensure there's no preloaded new tab browser. Oh, that's the last one. Last one. Okay. Wing. Dip it in the sauce. One bite. One time. But I'm really gonna like swish it. Okay, now the plate is empty. I'm going to gather up as much of this wing sauce as I can on this fork, and I'm just going to go for it. Oh, the things I do for you, Firefox. I love you, Firefox. This is painful, but I'm doing it for you, for Firefox, and for you, viewers, beloved viewers of The Joy of Coding. I do this for you. Episode 150. Smurf D says, they should be giving me hot wings instead of energy drinks to boost my productivity. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if my body could take it. Possibly. Anyway. Thank you. Everybody, episode 150, we did it. We made it through. I appear to still be alive. And I think that's a success case. So we're just going to remove the preloaded browser. And that way, we're just going to, we're going to await browser test utils, browser loaded, tab.linked browser. Check that initial secure loads at swap remoteness, get the correct. Right. Okay. Run the test. I'm like shaky. My body's a little shaky. I'm having a hard time keeping this mouse steady. Or At least it feels that way. I'm like levitating. I'm all like, hash change. Proxy state. We did it. We totally did it. We did it. And the test passes. That's great. You know what? I'm just going to double check. We're going to run test verify, and then I'm going to call the episode right there. I'm going to say that was episode 150. I'm going to put the funny hat back on. Whew. Come on, test. I think I'm gonna have a drink of water. Oh, the sauce. I think that was the worst move of all when I gathered up the sauce, because it's like it's in the back of my neck now, and the tears are back. Water doesn't help. That is true. Water is not helping, but I think I just need to offset the saltiness at the very least. It's very salty as well. This is doing nothing for a healthy sodium intake. All right. Well, while this is running, let me just say, hey, I'm really I love live streaming. I love live hacking. I'm so happy that you people who are watching watch. Please let me know what you thought of this episode. I can't concentrate. Hold on. Episode 150. Wow. I feel like this is going to be a valedictorian speech. Wow. We did it. 150 episodes. What a year. Or what a couple of years. Been doing this since like 2016, 2015, something like that. And yeah, I feel like this has been a good time. Or at least for me. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you thought. Rate the episode. There is a link in the agenda that allows you to fill in a form to let me know what you thought. What do you want to see more of? What do you want to see less of? What is on your mind? Let me know through the form. I read everything that comes in, and I'll do my best to shape the series for you. Is there anything else I wanted to say? I'm gonna have one of the vegetables. Okay. Oh, there's hot sauce on it. Pro tip for the people who decide to do this in the future. I feel like I need to have like the Mario Kart post-race music playing in the background. In fact, let's just do that. Let's just do that. Like the boom 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 boom. Winning results. Yeah. Yeah, this'll do. Wow, we did it. Let's get back to these tests. Should I have music playing during the stream? Would that help? You know, would that... Hey, and we did it. All the tests passed in that. So I'm going to commit it, and I'm going to call it. Bug that compile usage from browser URL bar hash change proxy state. Who's gonna review this? Who? MCI's like web render for Mac and Linux in the next few episodes. Could be. Anything can happen on the Joy of Coding. We'll see. It'd be interesting to get into some web render work. Maybe. Maybe. I'm gonna have Heist review this because he worked on it. Alright, gonna call it here. Thank you so much for watching episode 150 of The Joy of Coding. Gonna fade this out gracefully. We did it. Oh, Tom Prince goes, if you do have music, you should be careful about what music you use, as both YouTube and Twitch VODs mute. Video on demand's mute based on some sort of detection. Oh, that's true. That's true. Hopefully Mario Kart's not one of those things. We'll see. Hopefully you didn't get muted. You didn't get the mute. All right, my brain's broken. Let's call it here. Thank you so much for watching episode 150 of The Joy of Coding. We did it. Thanks again to Josh Matthews for the hat. Thanks to you, my beloved viewers. You're the greatest. And let me know what you thought in the rate this episode link. I am now going to eat bread, I think. Okay, take care. And bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.